Hello children, welcome back to the physical science class. Today we are going to mark the book exercises answer in unit 13 water. Textbook exercises. Room letter 1, choose the correct answer. Question 1. Water changes to ice at A. 0 degrees Celsius, B. 100 degrees Celsius, C. 102 degrees Celsius, D. 98 degrees Celsius. Answer option A. 0 degrees Celsius. Question 2. Solubility of carbon dioxide in water is high when the A. Pressure is low, B. Pressure is high, C. Temperature is high, D. None of the above. Answer option B. Pressure is high. Question 3. The gas collected at the cathode on electrolysis of water is A. Oxygen, B. Hydrogen, C. Nitrogen, D. Carbon dioxide. Answer option B. Hydrogen. Question 4. Which of the following is a water pollutant? A. Lead, B. Alum, C. Oxygen, D. Chlorine. Answer option A. Lead. Lead is a water pollutant. Question 5. Permanent hardness of water is due to the presence of A. Sulfates and chlorides, B. Dust particles, C. Carbonates and bicarbonates, D. Other soluble particles. Answer option A. Sulfates and chlorides. Roman letter 2. Fill in the blanks. Question 1. Water is colorless, odorless and tasteless. Question 2. The boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius. Question 3. Temporary hardness of water can be removed by dash of water. Answer boiling. Question 4. The density of water is maximum at 4 degrees Celsius. Question 5. Loading speeds up the process of sedimentation. Roman letter 3. State true or false. If false, correct the statement. Question 1. Sewage should be treated well before being discharged it into water bodies. Answer true. Question 2. Seawater is suitable for irrigation as it contains dissolved salts. Answer false. The correct statement is seawater is not suitable for irrigation as it contains dissolved salts. Question 3. Excessive use of chemical fertilizers depletes the soil and causes water pollution. Answer true. Question 4. The density of water will not change at all temperature. Answer false. The correct statement is the density of water will change at different temperature. Question 5. Soap lathers well in hot water. Answer false. The correct statement is soap lathers well in soft water. Formula match the following. Question 1. Universal solvent. Answer water. Question 2. Hot water. Answer stomach ailments. Question 3. Boiling. Answer kills germs. Question 4. Sterilization. Answer ozonization. Question 5. Sewage. Answer water pollutant. Letter 5. Give reasons for the following. Question 1. Alum is added to water in sedimentation tanks. Answer is in page number 146. Reason. A chemical substance such as potash alum is added to water to speed up the process of sedimentation. This process is called loading. The particles of potash alum combine with the suspended impurities and make them settle down at a faster rate. Question 2. Water is a universal solvent. Answer is in page number 144. Reason. Water has a unique property to dissolve more substances than any other solvents. It can dissolve solids such as salt and sugar, liquids such as honey and milk, and gases such as oxygen and carbon dioxide in it. Therefore, it is called as universal solvent. Question 3. Ice floats on water. Answer is in page number 142. Reason. Ice floats on the surface of the water. This is because ice is lighter than water. It means that the density of ice is lower than that of water. 4. Aquatic animals can breathe in water. Answer is in page number 144. Reason. Air dissolved in water is important for the living organisms to survive. Fish extracts the oxygen from the water and expels water through the gills. Fish can survive in water only through the dissolved oxygen present in water. Seawater is unfit for drinking. Answer is in page number 145. Reason. Every liter of seawater contains 35 grams of dissolved salts not suitable for drinking and is said to be non-potable water. The water suitable for drinking is called potable water. Every liter of potable water contains 1 to 2 grams of dissolved salts, mainly common salt. Question 6. Hot water is not good for washing utensils. Answer is in page number 147. Reason. Hot water is not good for washing utensils because it damages the utensils and containers in which it is stored and forms a hard layer. Sixth Roman letter, define the following. Question 1. Freezing point. Answer is in page number 141. The temperature at which a liquid turns into a solid when cooled is called freezing point. Water freezes at 0 degrees Celsius and forms ice. Thus, the freezing point of water is 0 degrees Celsius. Question 2. Boiling point. Answer is in page number 141. The temperature at which a liquid boils and turns into vapor is called boiling point. The boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius at 1 atmospheric pressure. Question 3. Specific heat capacity. Answer is in page number 142. The amount of heat that is needed to raise the temperature of a unit mass of a substance by 1 degree Celsius is called specific heat capacity of that substance. Question 4. Latent heat of fusion. Answer is in page number 142. The amount of heat energy required by ice to change into water is called latent heat of fusion of ice. Ice has the highest latent heat of fusion, that is 80 calories per gram or 336 joule per gram. Question 5. Potable water. Answer is in page number 145. The water suitable for drinking is called potable water. Every liter of potable water contains 1 to 2 grams of dissolved salts, mainly common salt. Seventh Roman letter. Answer in brief. Question 1. Name the gas evolved at cathode and anode when water is electrolyzed. State their ratio by volume. Answer is in page number 140. Answer. In electrolysis of water, for every 2 volumes of hydrogen collected at the cathode, there is 1 volume of oxygen collected at the anode. This experiment shows that water is made up of hydrogen and oxygen. The ratio of hydrogen and oxygen is 2:1. Question 2. State the importance of dissolved oxygen and carbon dioxide in water. Answer is in page number 144. Answer. Air dissolved in water is important for the living organisms to survive. The importance of dissolved oxygen. Fish extracts the oxygen from the water and expels water through the gills. Fish can survive in water only through the dissolved oxygen present in water. The importance of dissolved carbon dioxide. Aquatic plants make use of dissolved carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. Carbon dioxide dissolved in water reacts with limestone to form calcium bicarbonate. Marine organisms such as snails, oysters, etc. extract calcium carbonate from calcium bicarbonate to build their shells. Question 3. What are the causes of temporary hardness and permanent hardness of water? Answer is in page number 147. Answer. Hardness of water is due to the presence of dissolved salts of calcium and magnesium. Hardness may be temporary or permanent. Temporary hardness is due to the presence of carbonate and bicarbonate salts of calcium and magnesium, and permanent hardness results due to the presence of chloride and sulfate salts of calcium and magnesium. Question 4. Explain specific latent heat of vaporization of water. Answer is in page number 142. Answer. Latent heat of vaporization of water. When water attains the temperature of 100 degrees Celsius, it starts changing its state from liquid to gaseous state. However, the temperature of water does not rise above 100 degrees Celsius. It is because the supplied heat energy only changes the state of the boiling water. This heat energy is stored in steam and is commonly called latent heat of vaporization of steam. The steam has the highest latent heat of vaporization and its value is 540 calories per gram or 2268 joule per gram. Question 5. What are the methods of removing hardness of water? Answer is in page number 148. Answer. Removal of hardness. Different methods are followed to remove the hardness from water depending on whether it is temporary hardness or permanent hardness. Temporary hardness is easily removed from water by boiling and distillation. Permanent hardness is removed from water by adding washing soda, ion exchange, and distillation. Roman letter 8. Answer in detail. Question 1. How is water purified at a water purification plant? Answer is in page number 146. In conventional water treatment plants, water is subjected to different processes for purification. These processes are sedimentation. Water from lakes or rivers is collected in large sedimentation tanks. It is allowed to stand undisturbed so that suspended impurities settle down at the bottom of the tank. Sometimes a chemical substance such as potash alum is added to water to speed up the process of sedimentation. This process is called loading. The particles of potash alum combine with the suspended impurities and make them settle down at a faster rate. Filtration. Water from the sedimentation tanks is then pumped to the filtration tanks. Filtration tanks contain filter buds made up of gravel, sand, pebbles, activated charcoal, and concrete. Water passes through these layers and becomes free from any remaining dissolved or suspended impurities completely. Sterilization. The filtered water is treated chemically to remove the remaining germs or bacteria. This process is called sterilization. The chemicals that are used in this process are chlorine and ozone. The water from filtration tanks is pumped into chlorination tanks where chlorine is added to remove harmful bacteria and other germs. The process of adding chlorine in adequate amounts to water is called chlorination. Ozonization is a process in which water is treated with ozone gas to kill the germs present in it. The sterilization of water can also be done by exposing it to air and sunlight. Oxygen from the air and sunlight destroy the germs present in water. Aeration is a process in which air under pressure is blown into filtered water. This also helps to kill the germs. Question 2. What is permanent hardness of water? How can it be removed? Answer is in page number 147 and 148. Answer. Sometimes minerals and salts are present in water in such a large quantity that soaps or detergents form a thick precipitate called scum instead of forming lather. This makes the removal of dirt further difficult. Such water is called hard water. Hardness of water is due to the presence of dissolved salts of calcium and magnesium. Hardness may be temporary or permanent. Temporary hardness is due to the presence of carbonate and bicarbonate salts of calcium and magnesium, and permanent hardness results due to the presence of chloride and sulfate salts of calcium and magnesium. Hardness can be removed by adding washing soda. Washing soda is used to remove permanent hardness of water. Adding washing soda converts chlorides and sulfates into insoluble carbonates. These insoluble carbonates are removed by filtration. Ion exchange. Another method used to remove the hardness of water is to pass it through a column of ion exchange resins where calcium and magnesium ions get replaced by sodium ions. This converts hard water into soft water. Distillation. Temporary and permanent hardness both can be removed by the method of distillation. The water obtained after distillation is called distilled water. It is the purest form of water. Question 3. What is electrolysis? Explain the electrolysis of water. Answer is in page number 139 and 140. Answer. The process of breaking down of water molecules by the passage of electric current is known as electrolysis of water. Electrolysis of water. Electrolysis of water can be easily demonstrated with the help of an experiment. In this experimental setup, a glass beaker fixed with two carbon electrodes is filled with water up to one third of its volume. The positive carbon electrode acts as anode and the negative carbon electrode acts as cathode. Two test tubes are placed on the electrodes. The electrodes are connected to a battery and current is passed until the test tubes are filled with a particular gas. If the gas collected is tested using a burning splint, we can notice that the gas in cathode side burns with a popping sound when the extinguished splint is brought near the mouth of the test tube. This property is usually shown by hydrogen gas, and so it is confirmed that the gas inside the test tube is hydrogen. The burning splint placed near the anode side burns more brightly, confirming that it is oxygen gas. This experiment shows that water is made up of hydrogen and oxygen. The ratio of hydrogen and oxygen is 2 is to 1. Hence, for every 2 volumes of hydrogen collected at the cathode, there is 1 volume of oxygen collected at the anode. 2H2O on electrolysis produces 2H2 plus O2. Question 4. Explain the different ways by which water gets polluted. Answer is in page number 148, 149 and 150. Answer. Unwanted and harmful substances such as waste and sewage thrown into water. These substances are called pollutants. These pollutants are released by various activities from different sources. Sources of water pollution are classified as natural sources and man made sources. Some of the sources of water pollution are explained below. Household detergents. Household and cleaning detergents are a major cause of water pollution. Synthetic detergents have chemicals that do not break down and can end up polluting both surface and groundwater. Excessive use of detergents adversely affects fish and other organisms. Some shampoo, face wash, shower gel, and toothpaste have small round pieces of plastic added to them. These are called microbeads. Fish and other animals feed them by accident and get sick. Domestic sewage. Wastewater that is disposed of from households is known as domestic sewage. Domestic sewage should be treated before being disposed of into water bodies like river, lake, etc. Untreated sewage contains impurities such as organic matter from food waste, toxic chemicals from household products, and it may also contain disease causing microbes. Domestic waste and plastics. Solid waste, including plastics, are disposed of or end up in water bodies such as lakes, rivers, and the ocean. Plastics block drains, spreading vector borne diseases such as malaria and dengue. Waste in water bodies negatively impact aquatic life, agricultural activities, fertilizers, pesticides, and insecticides used in agriculture can dissolve in rainwater and flow into water bodies such as rivers and lakes. This causes an excess of nutrients such as nitrates and phosphates as well as toxic chemicals in water bodies. It is called eutrophication. These substances can also be harmful to aquatic life. Industrial waste. Many industries release toxic waste such as lead, mercury, cyanides, cadmium, etc. If this waste is unregulated and is released into water bodies, it has huge impact on humans, plants, animals, and aquatic life. Oil spills. Oil spills cause water pollution, which is harmful to aquatic life. The oil, which remains floating on the water surface, blocks sunshine, reduces the dissolved oxygen in water, and suffocates marine organisms. Thermal pollution. Large amount of water is used for cooling purposes in thermal and nuclear power plants and many industries. Water used for cooling purposes is discharged back to a river or to original water source at a raised temperature and sometimes with chemicals. This causes rise in temperature and decreases the amount of oxygen dissolved in water, which adversely affects the aquatic life. Children, mark the book exercises answer on your textbook and complete the class note. Thank you for watching.